On December 17th, 2020, at approximately 12:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturn enters Aquarius. It has been in the sign of Capricorn on and off between December 19th, 2017 and now. It will stay in Aquarius until March 6th, 2023 when it enters into Pisces. So now that Saturn is here to stay in Aquarius for a while, what does that mean for you? Stay tuned. Let's briefly get to know what the planet of Saturn is all about, its attitude, and its actions. It's represented by the servant archetype, and it's disciplined, responsible, and diplomatic. On the other hand, of course, like any planet, it has its more so negative side, which is isolation, sorrows, and misfortunes. So when Saturn is transiting a particular house in your birth chart, these characteristics will show up in that area of life. In order to know how this transit is going to personally affect you, you will need to know your rising sign in Western tropical astrology. In the sign of Aquarius, Saturn is happy at home. It's going to force us to take a look at our lives and lose all dead weight. It's all about thinking about who is important, what is important, and how important it should be in our contributions to society. It's all about letting go, having a lot, and bringing in quality. I guess that's where the term quality over quantity comes from. It's not about how much, but how valuable what you have is. Aquarius rising. Saturn is transiting your first house. With Saturn in the first house, you will be facing the reality of who you are and how you present yourself to the world. This is a very karmic time for you, so it is super possible that you might experience some consequences from things that you've done in the past, and it's going to force you to face reality and bring you down to earth and pretty much knock you down a notch or two. This is definitely a time in your life where you will be forced to own your shit and be forced to be truly authentic. If you embrace this time wholeheartedly and with positivity, your life can transform for the better. This is definitely a time of rebirth for you. So how do you want to be rebirthed? Do you want to come back as the same person that you were, or who you truly are? You may also feel the need to physically change something about yourself, whether it's the way you look, like changing your hair, or even losing or gaining weight. This is the time to become more self-sufficient and self-centric. Do the work that's necessary on yourself so that you come out of this a better person. Do the soul searching. Go on the journey of self-discovery. Figure out who you truly are inside. If that takes getting a life coach or a therapist or some kind of spiritualist to help you, do that. Improve on your health and wellness. Figure out what you want to do with your life going forward. If you choose to go in this direction with this transit, it'll be so much better. If you choose to go the opposite way, when Saturn comes back around again, you're gonna have problems. Follow me on Instagram at the Mystic Crone, where I will be posting every Saturday some affirmations that you can say each Saturday to get you through this transit. If you need me, you can always send me a message. Thank you, Aquarius rising. Pisces rising. Saturn will be transiting your 12th house. Pisces, this transit is going to get you ready for the rebirth that's happening for Aquarius now. During this transit, you are going to be forced to deal with your shadow self. This will be a time of reflection and introspection, and pretty much taking an inventory of what you have now and what needs to go, what needs more nurturing, and what can stay. All that has been hidden and underground is now going to be coming to light for you. You're going to be forced to face things head on. It is just time for you to use this transit to let go of everything that has been holding you back from going after what it is that you deserve in your life. All the things that are dark, down and dirty, your skeletons, are going to come out during this transit. And how you choose to deal with these things is pretty much going to set the precedent for when Saturn enters into your first house in a few years. You're gonna want to isolate yourself. You're going to want to retreat and be alone and think, and that's okay. But if you do find yourself to be depressed and dealing with this transit in a bad way, this is definitely the time that you should seek some type of help. Definitely don't have to go at it alone. The more that you choose to deal with now will determine how much better your life will be in 2023 when Saturn enters into Pisces. Just ground yourself when necessary, meditate, let go of the past, and just focus on healing yourself inside and out. Every Saturday on Instagram at The Mystic Crone, I will be posting affirmations for this Saturn transit that should be able to help you get through this. You can also reach out to me if you need any help. Thank you, Pisces. Aries rising. Saturn will be transiting your 11th house. This transit will force you to recognize where you stand in the world and how you're seen by other people and the contributions you've given to your community and the people that are in your life. Since Saturn is leaving your 10th house, which was the house pretty much that has to do with your position in the world and work in general, it's going to show you how much work you put in during that transit. You will reap what you sowed in the past. And if that's a good thing, this will be a great transit. And if not, karma's going to come and get you. You are going to be taking an inventory on the people in your life and who you feel should stay and who should go. Your friendships and associations with people are going to be tested, and you may gain some friends, you may lose some friends, or you may reconnect with some old friends. This is a great time to become active in your community, to start teaching others and sharing your wisdom with others, and just learning how to be in community with others, finding your tribe. Just make sure that whatever you choose to involve yourself in, it is actually something that aligns with your values, because if not, you're just going to waste a lot of time in something that is draining your energy and it's not going to help you going forward. On my Instagram at the Mystic Crone, I will be posting every Saturday affirmations to help you get through this transit. If you need me, you can also send me a message. Thank you, Aries. Taurus rising. Saturn is transiting your 10th house. This is the house of professional and public image and reputation. During this transit, you're going to be evaluating where you stand professionally and how you feel about success. Your ambitions and where you stand in society and how you want to be an authoritative figure and structure when it comes to work, all of that is going to come to the forefront because attaining your goals is going to be pretty much the most important thing for you during this transit. This could be a period of your life where you gain recognition at work. You may get promoted, or you may, decide to go for the job of your dreams. Time to take a realistic approach to achieving your dreams and goals. Like, really, truly be realistic at what you've done, what you've achieved, and where you want to go from here. This could also be a very frustrating transit for some of you. There could be tensions at work, and you could have issues with coworkers. Just remember that this is all a test of how you handle these situations. Rise to the challenge of becoming you, your true self. Find your purpose if you don't know what it is yet. It's time to find your place in the world. Where do you actually belong? Don't avoid your responsibilities. Do the work, because that's the only way changes will come, if you do the work. This is also the perfect time to expand your knowledge of self, knowledge of personal power, and knowledge of different skills that you could use going forward. So all in all, figure out what success means to you. Increase your knowledge and focus on achieving your long-term goals. Every Saturday, I will be posting on my Instagram at the Mystic Crone an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, you can send me a message if you need to talk. Thank you, Taurus. Gemini rising. Saturn will be transiting your 9th house. This is the area of your life that's all about higher learning, belief systems, travel, and adventurous experiences. So this is a time where you will really analyze your ultimate beliefs and test them against reality to see if they serve your higher good. Whether that's religious or philosophical beliefs or metaphysical, it doesn't matter. It's all about what you believe, and whatever it is that you believe needs to be definite for you. It can't be on the fence. Whatever it is you believe, you need to truly believe in it. But don't just jump into a belief system because you feel the urge or you feel the need to have to believe something. Do what works for you, not what works for anybody else or what everybody else is doing. You have to believe and follow whatever path it is that is right for you and you alone. This is a great time to figure out the meaning of life. and study more and write more and even teach more. It's really all about expanding your knowledge this transit. This house also influences long distance travel. And whether or not we were going through a pandemic currently, you would have had issues with long distance travel regardless. Unless the reason for that long distance travel had to do with your education or your belief system. If it was just to take a vacation abroad, everything would probably go awry because of this particular transit. So in a nutshell, expand your knowledge, and in the process of expanding, also apply it to your life so that you can become a more wise and mature person throughout this transit. It's a great time to build your skills and knowledge and just get organized, and also find yourself a belief system that you can get behind and stay behind if that's something that you're seeking in your life. On my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, every Saturday I will be posting an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, you can always send me a message. Thank you, Gemini. Cancer rising. Saturn will be transiting your 8th house. During this transit, you will be faced with the challenge of transforming yourself and redefining your identity. This means stripping away and purging who you used to be so that the new you can take form. It's all about endings, and letting go of all the shit that you've been carrying around for way too long. That's the only way that rebirth can even be experienced. You have to experience death in order to experience birth. It's not necessarily the most quote-unquote fun transit, but it's a very, very necessary transit in everyone's life. This transit and the 8th house in general is also about other people's money, such as a spouse's income or an inheritance from someone. This is an opportune time to get a handle on your financial matters, such as debts and taxes. So all in all, you're going to be straightening out your finances, confronting the past, your shadow self, letting go of unhealthy attachments, and learning about your personal power. On my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, every Saturday I will be posting an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, if you need me, you can always send me a message. Thank you, Cancer. Leo rising. Saturn will be transiting your 7th house. During this transit, it will be all about balancing things, balancing your personal relationships, like with your partners, intimately, business relationships, any relationship that you consider significant in your life, balancing your needs, balancing your goals, balancing your habits. This is a time where pretty much all of your relationships will be tested, and it's most likely going to test your closest relationship, which is usually your husband, wife, partner. Take the time to figure out, when it comes to your personal relationships, how much you're contributing, how much the other person is contributing, and what needs to be worked on, or if it's even worth working on anymore. Those are the types of things that will be on your mind during this transit. It could also go in another direction where you may feel the need to detach from certain people in your life because you're seeking independence. If you are single during this transit, you may decide that you want to be in a relationship of some sort, and you'll use this time to define what type of relationship you actually want. Or you may solidify that you like being alone. All about deciding what's best for you when it comes to relationships. So all in all, your relationships will get a complete overview during this transit. You're going to figure out, or you should be figuring out, what it is that you want and need from other people and what you're willing to give them. And you're going to also figure out whether or not particular relationships are meant for you, or even if you want to deal with certain people in your life. And it's also about placing boundaries. If you feel like someone's smothering you and not giving you the space you need to be yourself outside of them, this will be the time that you decide to bring that subject up. Every Saturday on my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, I will be posting an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, if you need me, just send me a message. Thank you, Leo. Virgo rising. Saturn is transiting your 6th house. This transit is going to cause you to think a lot about your work and your health habits. You're going to be forced to deal with any issues that you have in your life in regards to your job or your health. If you've been neglecting either one, this will be the time that you will be forced to deal with it. This is an excellent time to go on some type of cleanse to rid your body of any toxins and impurities, and to focus on an overhaul of your health and well-being. It's also a great time to look into possibly changing your diet if you've been thinking about that, or starting an exercise routine. You may also be looking into your mental health. This is a great time to start therapy or counseling if it's something that you've been thinking about and you feel that you need in your life. Just all in all, your routines in general in life are going to be evaluated during this time. So it's a great time to reorganize pretty much everything that has to do with your daily affairs. How you clean your home, how you go to work, and how you do your job, your routine after work, your nighttime routine, your morning routine, all of your routines. Want to make sure that your habits align with how you want to live your life. If you don't feel like you're eating correctly, if you're exercising enough, if you're getting enough sleep, this is the transit that you need to pretty much work on all of that. Put that meticulous Virgo energy to work. Every Saturday on my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, I will be posting an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, if you need me, just send me a message. Thank you, Virgo. Libra rising. Saturn is transiting your 5th house. The 5th house is where we develop our passion, our creativity, and our self-expression. It's also about love, romance, and our creativity in the form of children, or how we birth things like artistic work. During this transit, Saturn is going to force you to discipline yourself at working at creating a life that reflects the authentic you. You may feel a little stagnant creatively during this time as well, but at the same time, Saturn is going to force you to look at how you manage things when it comes to your ego and what really motivates you. You will gain a stronger sense of your motivation, and you'll know what best avenue you should take in order to express yourself creatively and more effectively. Your romantic relationships are also going to be on radar during this transit as well. And you may feel overwhelmed or pressure from just casual love affairs wanting more from you. During this transit, your relationships, your romantic relationships in particular, will be clear. It's going to be a make or break situation when it comes to romance for you. If you are single, when it comes to romantic relationships, you're not going to be too interested in the casual type of situations. You're looking for something more concrete during this time. The 5th house also rules children. So during this transit, the attention is going to be focused on your first child. If you don't have any children, this may be the transit that you have your first child. For parents, your first child may be giving you some problems, some issues during this transit, and you may find yourself having to discipline them more or get them a little bit more structured. So all in all, this transit is going to force you to identify what you enjoy in life, what gives you true happiness. It's going to force you to learn how to recognize what gives you pleasure and what empowers you. It's going to help you learn how to be more affectionate with others if you haven't been. Most importantly, have fun during this transit. Don't take everything too seriously. Everything should not revolve around work. Live your life. On Saturdays, on my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, I will be posting an affirmation to get you through this transit each week. In the meantime, if you need me, just send me a message. Thank you, Libra. Scorpio rising. Saturn is transiting your 4th house. The 4th house is all about your home, your family, the needs for security, and your roots. This transit is going to force you to build a more stable home environment, and it's going to force you to look into your living conditions. You may not like where you're living anymore, and you may be ready to move during this transit. If you don't move, you may be really ready to renovate the home that you live in and alter it for your current life. Transit will also have you thinking about the past and looking possibly into your family roots and where you really come from, your lineage. It could bring up old memories about family times, and it could be a time where you just want to discover where it is you truly come from and why you are wired the way you are. There will be lots of thoughts about your legacy and what you are actually leaving behind, the impression you're leaving behind, the money you're leaving behind, how you're going to be remembered when you're gone. This is not going to be a transit where you're going to want to be outside of your comfort zone a lot. You're going to go into your shell and kind of just want to think about home. So all in all, you're going to be thinking about reorganizing your home life, getting things in order, fixing any dysfunctions that you may have, whether it's with your family or in your actual home itself, and thinking about your safety and how you feel, and making time for more things and building up your nest eggs and taking care of yourself. On Saturdays on my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, I will be posting affirmations to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, if you need me, just send me a message. Thank you, Scorpio. Sagittarius rising. Saturn is transiting your 3rd house. This transit will be all about how you think and communicate with people. You're going to spend a lot more time organizing and planning and restructuring the way you think and express yourself, possibly in the form of speaking, teaching, writing. If you haven't been as active on social media during this transit, you may feel the need to actually express yourself more online. You may write a blog or start a YouTube channel, some kind of way that you can communicate with other people. You're going to have the urge to do during this transit. You may experience some communication breakdowns with certain people, and knowing that it may be possible that you need to learn how to change your tone of voice when speaking to certain people and meeting people where they are in conversations. You will also be reviewing the way you think about things and what takes up space in your mind. This is a great time to start a meditation practice. If you don't have one already, it's a great time to enhance the one that you already have and think about how you think. A great suggestion would be for you to look into what's called the laws of attraction or the laws of power and how to manifest using your intuition and the way you use your subconscious when you're not even realizing it. All in all, during this transit, you're going to be focusing on your communication, focusing on your mind and your mindful reasoning and your mindful approach to life, and possibly learning new things or writing new things or teaching things to others. On my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, every Saturday I will be posting an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, you can send me a message if you need me. Thank you, Sagittarius. Capricorn rising. Saturn is transiting your second house. You can all take a collective sigh of relief. Saturn has left Capricorn, and you should feel less pressure. You won't have to deal for that heavy energy for another 28 years. Yay! The second house is all about finances and the things that you value, the material values in your life. This is the perfect opportunity to get your finances in order, whether that means making a budget, examining the way you spend your money, tracking your spending habits, and eliminating wasting money on things you really don't need. This is also the perfect time to clean house. What in your house have you been holding on to? What material thing in your house have you been holding on to that really needs to go? Do you have a large screen TV that doesn't work, but you're just using it to put flower vases on top? Whatever the case may be, look into your personal finance and your actual material possessions and take an inventory on what needs to be cleaned up. 2021 is a great time to start investing in the stock market. If that's something that you've been considering, go for it. This transit is also the transit of side hustles. If you want or need a side hustle or have been considering getting one, this is your time to do it. You are a Capricorn. Y'all like to work anyway. So go ahead and get that side hustle and accomplish things. Pay off debt. Start saving for something that you've been wanting. Get your financial security in order. If you've been wanting to take a finance related class, like a money management class, a stock market investing class, foreign exchange class, take the class. Now's the time to do it. Seeking a financial counselor or an accountant in your life, now's the time. So all in all, value, personal value, material value, that is what this transit is all about. On my Instagram at The Mystic Crone, I will be posting every Saturday an affirmation to help you get through this transit. In the meantime, if you need me, just send me a message. Thank you, Capricorn.